Construction is consistently ranked as one of the most dangerous industries year after year.
It's scary stuff. But what if, and just hear me out here, what if we could give these machines like an extra set of eyes, something to prevent those almost got hit moments?
That's a dream, right?
Right. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, JCD's IntelliSense. It's this crazy AI-powered safety system that's totally changing how things are done on construction sites.
It's really amazing to see this kind of technology actually being used in the real world, not just, as a concept. And JCB is definitely leading the way here. They're offering IntelliSense as a factory-fitted option on their load-all telescopic handlers.
So you're telling me they're building these things in from the start?
Yep. Specifically on the 540, 140, and 535, 125 models. Construction companies can actually order these machines with the safety system already built in.
Wow, that's a big deal. No more messing around with clunky add-ons or trying to, Frankenstein something together after the fact. This is next level safety right out of the factory. So how does it actually work? Walk us through it.
Okay, so picture this. The load-all is kitted out with not one, but 4 cameras. 3 of them are powered by artificial intelligence. They provide a full 270-degree view around the entire machine. These AI cameras are constantly scanning, looking for workers or anyone who might be in harm's way.
It's like having eyes everywhere.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But we know the operator needs to see too, so there's a 4th camera that's a standard forward-facing one, just like you'd expect.
Okay, so we've got eyes on everything.
Yeah.
But how does IntelliSense know the difference between, say, a worker who's supposed to be near the machine and someone who's wandered into a danger zone?
That's where the smart technology really comes in. JCB has set up these customizable zones around the machine. There's an inner zone that goes from 0 to 2 meters.
Okay.
And then an outer zone that extends out further to 5 meters.
So it's like a force field or something.
Kind of. If a pedestrian steps into that outer zone, even accidentally, the system kicks in.
Whoa. What happens? I need to know.
It's all about speed. The whole system is designed for rapid response to minimize surprises. That's crucial on a busy site, right?
Absolutely.
So both the operator inside the cabin, this is important, the pedestrian in the danger zone, they both get an alert at the same time.
Oh, wow, that's smart. So no one's caught off guard.
Exactly. And we're not just talking a little beep here. We're talking visual and audible alarms, flashing lights, sirens.
Whoa. That'll definitely get someone's attention.
And has to cut through the noise and chaos of a construction site.
It's like having a guardian angel looking out for everyone, not just the operator, but everyone on the ground, too.
It's an extra level of protection, that's for sure.
I can see how this could be huge for preventing accidents. But it's not just about reacting in the moment, is it? I mean, IntelliSense also collects data, right?
You're right.
To help prevent future incidents.
Exactly. And that's where the long-term impact comes in. This isn't just a safety feature. It's a powerful data collection tool that learns and adapts.
So let's talk about that data. What kind of information is being collected, and how does it make construction sites safer in the long run?
Okay, so think of it this way. Every time IntelliSense kicks in, like every near miss, every alarm, even if the system just detects someone walking by, it's all recorded.
Okay.
And we're not talking just a timestamp here. This is serious stuff. JCB has hooked IntelliSense up with their LiveLink telematics system.
LiveLink?
Yeah, it's like a super sophisticated data hub for all their construction equipment.
So in English?
Basically every single event, every one, plus a ton of other data points, like the machine's location, how fast it's going, even the time of day.
That's all tracked.
Yep, all logged and stored, both on the machine itself and in the cloud. And here's the cool part. Site managers can see it all remotely.
Wow, they can be sitting back in their office and see what's happening on the ground.
Exactly. Gives them this whole other level of insight into potential safety hazards, stuff they might never even know about otherwise.
It's like having a heat map of danger zones or something.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And the best part is they can actually use this data to make decisions, to actually make the site safer.
So it's not just about reacting to things after the fact. It's about getting ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
Using this data to prevent accidents from happening in the first place.
100%.
Can you give me an example? How would that work in real life?
Sure. Let's say the data shows that there's this one intersection on the site where there are a lot of near misses, load-alls and workers getting a little too close for comfort.
Right.
The site manager sees this in the data. right? They can actually do something about it. Maybe they reroute foot traffic, put in some better lighting, or even just give the operators who work that zone some extra training.
Instead of just waiting for an accident to happen and then saying, well, we should have seen that coming.
Exactly. And it's not about blame, right?
Yeah.
It's about taking that information and creating a culture of safety.
Where everyone's in the loop.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone feels like they can speak up and, actually do something about potential hazards.
And the operators, what about them? I mean, this system must be like a huge weight off their shoulders.
It makes a big difference, knowing that they've got this, like, intelligent backup system watching out.
Especially on those huge sites where it's tough to keep track of everything.
Oh, absolutely. It reduces their cognitive load.
Yeah.
They can focus on their tasks and feel more confident, especially in those tricky spots with low visibility or a lot of people around.
It's a win-win. Safer for the workers on the ground, less stressful for the operators.
And that translates to fewer accidents and a more productive work environment overall.
Okay, so we've talked about how this benefits the operators, the site managers, and everyone else on the ground. But let's zoom out for a second. What does it mean to have AI tech like this, really entering the construction industry in a big way?
That's the question, isn't it? And honestly, I think we're just scratching the surface here.
You think so?
With JCB leading the way, this kind of tech could easily become standard on all heavy machinery.
Like mandatory?
It might be.
Right now.
Like backup cameras on cars are now. It just makes sense.
It's one of those things where it's like, why didn't we think of this sooner?
Right. And as the technology keeps developing, who knows what other safety features we could see.
What are you thinking? Give me some ideas.
Well, imagine systems that can predict when an operator is getting tired, or that can monitor for hazardous materials. The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, now that's getting really futuristic.
It's closer than you think.
It's exciting, yeah. But I gotta be honest, whenever I hear about AI and data collection, I can't help but think about the ethical side of things, too.
Oh, absolutely. That's a really important point.
Like, we want all the safety features, obviously, but we don't want to end up in some sci-fi dystopia either.
Right. It's about finding that balance, right?
Mm.
Between innovation and, making sure we're using this technology responsibly.
Exactly. So what are some of the things we should be thinking about then? I mean, where do we even start with something like this?
Well, data privacy is huge.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We've got to make sure that worker information is kept private,
Right.
anonymized,
Yeah.
and used in a way that benefits everyone, not just like the big corporations.
Yeah. Because if workers don't trust the technology, it's not going to work.
Exactly. Transparency is key. Workers should know how their data is being collected, what it's being used for, the whole 9 yards.
It makes sense. And what about this whole thing with surveillance? I mean, are we talking about systems that track every move an employee makes? That feels a little icky.
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's definitely a slippery slope. There's a big difference between using AI for safety and using it for, like, micromanaging employees.
Yeah.
We got to draw a line in the sand there.
For sure. It shouldn't be about watching every little thing a worker does. It's about preventing those big, potentially life-changing accidents.
Exactly. And I think a lot of it comes down to how we implement this technology. It has to be done in a way that builds trust.
Right. Not just suspicion.
Workers need to feel like they're part of the solution, not like they're being spied on.
It's all about collaboration.
Exactly. And I think that's the key takeaway here, right? It's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we choose to use it.
We've got all this amazing potential with AI, but we have to be smart about it.
Absolutely. And that means having these conversations, being aware of the ethical implications, and making sure we're putting worker safety and well-being front and center.
So well said. And on that note, I think we're about out of time for today.
Already. Wow, it goes fast.
It really does. But we've covered a lot of ground. From like the nitty-gritty details of how this system works to the bigger picture of AI in construction and, what it means for the future of work.
It's definitely a lot to process.
It is. But one thing's for sure, JCB's IntelliSense is a total game changer for site safety. And it raises some really important questions that, honestly, we all need to be thinking about.
100%. It's not just a construction industry issue, it's a societal one.
For sure. So if you've ever been on a construction site or even just driven by one and, felt that little twinge of anxiety about how dangerous they can be, this tech is a big deal. It's like this sign that we can actually build a future where those kinds of accidents are a thing of the past. And that's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It gives you hope, right?
It totally does. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the future of construction safety. We'll catch you next time.